What's up, people? In this video, Sarah Ashkan just gave me a link. It's a mystery video. If you want to send me videos, leave me a comment. Also, if you do send me videos, I try not to do any video that's over 30 minutes. Like the actual video itself is 30 minutes, right? If it's 30 minutes, I'm going to watch it at 2x speed. Okay, some people have complained. They've been like, oh, slow it down. It's too fast. You can either wear headphones or you can learn how to understand things at 2x speed, or you can just watch another one of my videos. Are you kidding me? I have fucking 200 of these review videos at this point. Like, I don't know, just deal with it, because I'm not going to slow it down. I'm not going to make every fucking video like an hour and listen to these people talk slow. So yeah, got to deal. Buzzfeed's plus size fashion video is cruel and stupid. Rebel Media. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Oh shit. I will speed this up. I'm just so used to speeding up these videos. It's almost like weird for me to not watch them sped up. Hopefully you guys can deal.
Sorry, I have a bit of trouble sitting down because I'm unhealthy. I'm not different. I'm not an albino. I'm not someone with a strange eczema or impetigo or something that I was born with. I'm unhealthy because I ate too much. Have you ever noticed you don't see 70-year-olds that look like me? That's because they died. You see, you die, you get diabetes. To be fat is unhealthy. So we don't glorify that in society. We don't have junkies on the cover of fashion magazines going, with track marks on their arms going, I'm dying. And we go, yes, you are. You can do it. Die. But in the matriarchy, which happens in a little microcosm across the blogosphere, we have these little mini women in control societies. And what I've noticed about these societies is, under the guise of empowering women, they end up being real cruel. And I think, geez, here in my patriarchy, we wouldn't do that. I think you need us to protect yourselves from you. So this was a video BuzzFeed put out recently where obese women ranging from a little bit too fat to dying recreated fashion spreads from magazines. And I think they were trying to say we're just as beautiful as fashion magazine ladies. A, you're not. And B, by the way, we're the ones who make love to you. Large ladies. The gays who put those women in magazines and the women who buy those magazines, they don't make love to you. We do things to you that are indescribable on a YouTube video because it would get censored. So I don't know why you're mad at me. I'm the guy down there doing all the hard work. The women and homosexuals responsible for your fashion magazine, they're the ones that don't like you.
That's funny. He's funny. Oh, well, let's just see the video.
We're actually remarkably attracted to you. But anyway, check out this shockingly cruel video that women made for women to try to make them feel better about their savage addiction to sugar. Can you turn it up? I can't hear it. Oh no, this is me. Oh my god, look at that one. Plus size, what's it called?
Fashion ads are like...
Okay, just pause. You see what they're doing here? Obama and...
Alright, so he's gonna like do it slowly. I guess I'll move, well, I don't know. See, like I want you to be, I'm gonna keep my overlay here just because if I move it here, you won't actually be able to see the video because he's here. So I've said this in like a couple of the other Red Pill videos that I've done, but BuzzFeed is a business, okay? BuzzFeed is in the business of making money, but more specifically, BuzzFeed is in the advertising business, or I guess you could say media business, right? But why does media exist? Media exists so that advertisers can place ads in that media, and the more eye-catching that the media is, the more people will watch it and consume it. And the more people that consume it, the more these media companies can charge advertisers to advertise. Okay, so like something like this is like, and BuzzFeed especially. BuzzFeed is like, they base their entire business model on clickbait. That's what it is. It's like listicles, like 14 reasons why fucking, I don't know, pickles are better than sex or something ridiculous like that. And you're like, oh, I want to see, what are those reasons? You know, that is their business model. Okay. And stuff like this, like even just thinking about extremely fat women posing in seductive poses as if they were skinny, attractive models, that does not, you're like, what? Like, does not compute. And interestingly enough, that is kind of the secret to writing a clickbait title. Okay, there's this whole science, I guess, or not really science, but there's a lot of people who've studied this. It's something that you can create kind of at will. And basically what you do is you combine two things that have nothing to do with each other, right? Like, whatever, I don't know, like again, like the fat women modeling in seductive poses. like as if they were models, right? Because that doesn't happen. Okay, so those are two things that kind of like you don't think of those two things together. Now you do a little bit more because the whole like body positivity thing, but it's still not. It still does not make up most of the ads for fashion companies. So again, this is not. I don't. This is another example of like somebody picking an easy target and taking it seriously as if Buzzfeed is actually trying to promote a message of equality or body positivity when this is designed to get people to watch this video. That is what it's designed for. That is the only reason this was created. The fact that they have all this like, I don't want to say like, whatever, in his words, this matriarchy stuff, right? Where it's like run by women and like all this like non-offensive content, essentially, even though some people might consider this offensive. Like very, I don't even know how to explain it. The only words that are coming to my mind are like non-conservative or like liberal media, I guess, but that's so whatever. I can't think of another way to describe it, but that's just their demographic. That's who they have decided to appeal to and to sell to. So naturally, all of their clickbait content, all of their fucking advertiser bait is designed to resemble that, because you have to make, like, this is also very common on YouTube channels. What they tell you, they say, pick one kind of general category for your YouTube channel and only make videos in that category. Don't branch out, because people will get confused and they subscribe to you for one reason. And if you change the reason, if you change the topic of your videos, people will unsubscribe because they don't want to see that. They subscribe to you for a specific reason. So give them more of that. And BuzzFeed obviously seems to have found their niche.
And Pierre Trudeau do this every time they want to focus on their successes. You take the chart with unemployment, and then when it comes up, or it goes down a little bit, unemployment's like this, then when it goes down a little bit, they just focus on that chart, and they go, that little tiny section, they go, unemployment's down. So what they're doing here with these ladies is they're making them look really, really bad at the beginning, stripping their face of makeup, blowing them out so they're all purple and pink, so they will look better than this. That's mean. You've taken an already remarkably unattractive woman, she looks like Larry Bud Melman from the David Letterman show, and you've made her very, very ugly so she can look a little bit better. No jock would do that. I know we hear about dog fights where fraternities will bring the ugliest girl they can to dinner, but that's a freak occurrence, and when people hear about it, they go, oh, geez, that's so mean. Us guys would never do this to you, Kristen. You're in the wrong hands. Her father should get her away from women and keep her safe with jocks where they won't totally humiliate her. Look at this. This is the meanest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, go ahead.
Place that I don't belong in.
Growing up, I really struggled to feel beautiful and feel like my body was okay. All the other girls were all pretty and skinny, so I just felt out of the box.
You were out of the box.
Of it where I couldn't relate.
I kind of just saw models who were very thin, very light skinned.
Can you just pause it here? I also went through something similar when I would watch the NBA, and I would see people dunking, and I'd see these 7-foot tall guys soaring through the air like birds, and I've never even dunked once in my life, and I just felt out of place. I felt like I wasn't good enough at basketball to be in the NBA, and that's not fair. I should be in the NBA and the NFL. I should be singing for U2, and I should be in You Got Mail as the protagonist, the love interest. But no, just because I look like a weird wet rat, I'm not in any of that shit. It's not fair. Like, remember that time you had that little kid who was dying of cancer? God, I hope he's okay. I think he had leukemia or something. And all of San Francisco got together and said, you're Batman. And they gave him a Batman costume, and he ran around, pew, 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 shooting bad guys, and oh, you got me. That's what you do to little kids who are dying. You lie to them, and you tell them that they're Batman. Not adult women who are dying of their own self-inflicted obesity. You're not Batman. Go ahead.
And I would look at them and just say, okay, I'm supposed to look like that.
You are!
That's the only thing I see represented.
It's called a goal.
Like so many people compare themselves to what's in the media. I am very nervous. I know this is going to look the
You
same.
should be nervous. You're about to be humiliated.
So these are actors. These are actors. These are not, like, who do you think these people are? Who do you actually think they are? Like, viewers of the internet. Like, where do you think these people came from? Like, how do you think they found all of these? How do you think they chose these people? Do you think, I'll give you some options. Do you think they started walking down the street and just started asking people who seem to be fat, hey, I'm from Buzzfeed and we're making a video about fat models and we would like you to be in it. Are you interested? We'll pay you. That's one option. Another option is that I guess you could say they're Buzzfeed staff members, right? They just went around Buzzfeed's company or sent out a memo and said, hey, we're looking for some fat staff members to be in a video. Is that something you'd want to do? It's another option, right? Or a third option, maybe this is actually what happened, is they contacted a casting company and they said to the casting company, hey, we are casting for a role. We need women who are between 25 and 35 who are overweight. We need multiple ethnicities. Please, be comfortable in reduced amounts of clothing. Come to the audition on Friday. That's actually what happened, right? This is not like, nobody mentions that, and they do a good job kind of hiding that. But that is actually what happened here. So, you know, this is not. This is art. This is to create a piece of art. Okay, this is not reality TV. All right, it's they're making it seem kind of like reality TV, but it's a piece of well thought out entertainment that we could consider art, right? So I don't know. Is he mad at them? Is he's saying it's cruel and stupid because he's being mean to these specific women, or that this is sending the wrong message to people, to girls, saying that they can expose themselves if they have less than attractive bodies, and BuzzFeed will kind of make it seem like you're beautiful, but not actually? Is that the cruel part? I'm not really sure.
Look
By your
close to the
peers.
same, but I just hope it looks okay.
It won't look okay. Look at Gigi Hadid. Okay, stop. What Gigi Hadid? We had the other one was that Kate Moss, or probably her fucking granddaughter. We got Gigi Hadid, who you could have made her in a lab. Her mother was a supermodel that came, by the way, from not Deutschland, but the Netherlands. You know why women are hot in the Netherlands? Because Vikings went and stole all the pretty girls from all over the world and then brought them back to Scandinavia and bred them. So it took hundreds of years to make Gigi Hadid, and some very nefarious raping and pillaging in throughout history to make her. And you're like, how come she's super hot? It only took a few hundred years of dominating the world to make her. I ate Slurpees all day. I should be her. I'm not LeBron James, okay? You can't be that. You can't just have that. It's very rare. That's why it's on the cover of a magazine. It's unusual to be that pretty. That's why they get snatched from a shopping mall in Ohio. They go, holy crap, you're part of the 0.00001%. I'm sorry if it doesn't make you feel pretty not to be pretty. You're not making it any better by stuffing your face with Chick-fil-A all day. Go ahead. Oh, so these are the ads that they chose.
Today I'm modeling a Gigi Hadid in a Tommy Hilfiger ad. She's sitting on a coil of rope, like some sort of nautical Disney princess,
my
and wearing a
God.
coat, which I like, because coats cover all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's why Gigi's wearing a coat in the ad, to hide her perfect body. Like, why don't you just put someone in a wheelchair up against Mike Tyson while you're at it?
At the same time.
I always wanted to
You also
fight.
look like you don't care.
You've got a handicapped child here who's going to fight Mike Tyson.
To start posing and have
This is so cruel, right? If I did that, you go, that's mean that kid's going to get killed. This girl is getting killed. Look at her.
I'm modeling the Burberry ad with Jasmine.
I personally wanted to be in this photo because I saw this model with a shaved head, and I thought it was so sick and so
You're
different.
exactly the same as her. You both have shaved heads. Ergo, you're both, what, nines?
That's gonna try to like cover
Oh
up
my,
my
some of these women, by the way, are
nipple.
so turgid. I can't tell what race they are. But your face is all puffy. I don't know if you're into.
Yeah, again, this reminds me a lot of like the body positivity Tess Holiday thing, where like, I don't want to say the people like this is let's call this what it actually is. This is you know, let's take it at face value, right? Let's say this is not what I said it was, a fucking media company trying to create an interesting piece of content so that advertisers will outbid each other or try to outbid each other to place ads on this piece of content, which is actually what this is. Okay, but let's take it at face value, and let's say that BuzzFeed or the folks at BuzzFeed just woke up one day and they're like, hey, you know what? Let's do this social experiment because we want to make a few fat women feel like they're models, and by extension send a message to society via our reach at BuzzFeed that it's okay to try and dress like a model if you're fat. I guess that's what it is. Nobody, like, this is not taken seriously by most people, is the thing, right? So like, again, I don't know, or is it? Do people take this seriously? Because I know, like, this is like something that would like get shared on Facebook by some like irate, you know, housewife from fucking, I don't know, Pennsylvania or something. She's like, look what they're telling our kids to do these days. You know, America has no more morals anymore. Like, those damn city folk. Like, who's taking this seriously? Who's actually like, you're not going to see fat women in, well, actually, the only reason you might actually see fat women in fashion ads is to sell clothes to fat women, right? Which, as I've said before, is an emerging demographic. But the reason why this is not mainstream yet, you could make the argument it's becoming more mainstream with like Tess Holiday and shit like this. But the reason it's not mainstream is because being fat is still something that most people don't want for themselves, right? Most people do not actually want to be fat, right? Most women, especially who are fat, it's none of them, or very few of them are like embracing their fatness, like despite what it seems like on the internet, right? So maybe it's possible, I guess, although I think this is a bit of a stretch. I guess it's possible that like BuzzFeed is like working in tandem with some of these fashion companies to try and make it more popular to be fat so that they can advertise these like bigger clothes to fat women more aggressively, but that's a stretch. Honestly, that's a stretch. Like when you're in business, you want to maximize what you have right now. You don't want to fucking partner with media companies to like create a movement that will maybe make you more money in the future if it takes off. You know what I mean? So that's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, I don't know. Like whatever. I don't know.
I'm
Asian,
really excited to
black.
represent like the
She looks like she's been inflated with a
plus
bicycle
side of, like, that
pump.
type of look.
Why? No jock would ever do this. No, if a frat did this, we just had the Harvard men's soccer get
Not gonna
banned
lie,
for a
there's
year
just
because they
a
rated
lot
women.
of boobs from both of
Yeah,
us,
when
so
women
it's
get
very
together with their
hard
own,
to make
they
huge
humiliate
boobs
them. Look at
look
these
like
poor
they're
girls.
just hanging there.
You're not even in the same universe as those girls.
Parts meant to cover your boobs. They're meant to keep us warm.
I'm doing the Kate Spade
What race
ad,
is this
and
woman? I have no
it
idea.
looks really
She's
badass.
race
She's really
balloon.
beautiful, tall, skinny. Yeah, I'm the complete opposite of her.
Yes.
So this is completely out of my comfort zone. I'm usually behind the scenes.
Why are you
so
doing this?
I think
Honestly,
this
I'm
will be really
lost
fun.
here. I don't understand. Why are we glorifying obesity? And I think they're showing you that obese women are just as
So looking
attractive
at
as the
all
most
the
beautiful women in the
girls,
world.
so I was really,
Well,
really
they're clearly
nervous
not.
to
So what have you done
really
here?
fun, but
You
all these
spent
pros
all
just
day
cut me
taking
and
photos and
my
doing
back's
makeup on
hurting.
these unattractive women, and now they are slightly.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, in and of itself, I don't think this is really so bad, right? Like all this stuff, like all this internet rage about glorifying obesity and blah blah blah. Like, look, at the end of the day, you know, this girl or any of these girls really in this video, you know, you can say it's their self-control, they have no discipline, they don't deserve to feel good about their looks because they're lazy, right? That's not wrong. I get, well, that's an opinion, but some of it is an opinion. But at the end of the day, this girl, I don't think she's happy about the way she looks. I think she's not happy about it, and she wishes she was skinny, right? And she knows she could probably never be a model. I think she's very short. I think she's short. She's not tall enough. She's not skinny enough. Doesn't have the look, right? So like, what's really so bad about letting her play dress up for some fucking Buzzfeed story? You know what I mean? But she's an actor anyway, so like, who even cares? These are all actors, right? But let's assume they weren't. What's so bad about that, right? Because this is clearly, like, no offense to her specifically, but this is like what happens when you, like, I'm not saying she's like a monkey or anything, but this is like what happens when you put like clothes on a monkey, right? It's still a monkey. You can tell it's a monkey, but it's wearing clothes. So it's like, oh, look at that monkey, it's wearing clothes. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying she's like a monkey, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like, oh, that monkey shouldn't be wearing clothes because that's not what monkeys do. Oh, you know, this fat girl shouldn't be in a photo shoot because photo shoots are for like tall, skinny models. You know what I mean? So it's like, who cares really? Like, and I guess the point of that is that our fat girls gonna watch this and somehow make the connection in their head that like it's okay to be fat because BuzzFeed made a story making these insecure fat girls look kind of like models. Are people actually that dumb that they would think that? I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about, let's say, some fat girls who would watch this. Like, anybody who would believe that is already so committed to being fat anyway that they're not going to change anyway. So who really cares what they think? I guess is kind of my point.
Hey, less unattractive.
I'm modeling the
Wait a minute, just pause it here. Wait a minute. So you've done all this work to make these unattractive women look more attractive by putting makeup on them and stuff. Isn't that what we're saying? Aren't we the guys that say, can you just try, please? Can you put on some makeup and some high heel shoes? I mean, all these women, by the way, if they're around during last call and have high heels on, they got them in. I mean, you go to Walmart, you see a sphere with just 2 shoes at the bottom and a little hat on top, pushing a stroller. She's got 6 kids. Someone is making love to her. So ladies, give an effort and we're in. If you're mad at someone, get mad at yourselves and at homosexuals. Because I mean, I'm actually surprised myself. I think I'm attracted to every single woman in this video. Okay, go ahead.
A little nervous about it. I think it's.
Oh my God. All right, stop. She looks like a beanbag that got shot with a tranquilizer dart. I mean, beached whale is considered an insult. That is pretty accurate. I mean, that's not even an insult, it's an simile. It's a reasonable metaphor. And look at all the cellulite. Like, the body's having trouble figuring out what to do. You know, my doctor of surgery said I can't operate on these people because I have to burn through the fat with a laser, and then when I go to close them up, the fat can't be resealed, so the sutures pop out. It's not natural. Surgeons didn't go to school to learn how to do that. You're dying! You're not beautiful! I want you to be beautiful. That's the crazy part. In my world, with my patriarchy, you live. In your world, where we glorify your obsession with Slurpees, you die. And you don't die quick, by the way. You get diabetes, and we amputate your fingers and toes. It ain't pretty, lady. And you ain't either. Okay, keep going. I don't know how much longer I can take
Plus-size
about
women
this.
aren't seen in the media and fashion world
She looks
as
terrible.
sexual beings. Hopefully I can rock it.
No, sorry. We can draw all over your face. We can draw a pretty woman on your face and like add contours so we don't see your giant
not
chip on
easy
your cheeks.
even
Look
looking
at that.
like you're sleeping.
Look at that. If a
Mothers
frat did
definitely
that, they would get the shit beaten out of them by the frat next door. This is cruel.
Today
This is
I'm on
cruel.
an Agent Provocateur ad. I'm excited
Agent
to showcase
Provocateur.
that
Nice.
even if you have
Here,
a big
nice thing to want to compete with.
you can still look
Today I'm going to be fighting Conor McGregor. I'll be kicking him in the balls and calling him a pussy and going up to him in a restaurant and slapping him in the face. Hopefully I can knock him out. Maybe I'll put him in a chokehold.
I feel
okay,
sexy.
stop. She has a tensor bandage on her ankle. Her own body cannot handle the mass of her body. And that corset is getting a hernia trying to lie to you about her contours. And we say, this is great, isn't it? My ankles are breaking, but I'm healthy.
like I don't want to repeat myself, but this is just to get views. You know, this is not. I don't know. I've never watched any of these guys' videos before. I don't know if it's all this like, let's pick easy targets that are doing things that are socially, it's like social justice stuff. These like they're creating like clickbaity pieces of content and dressing it up as like social justice, but it's really just for the money. And instead of calling that out for what it is, they're taking it seriously. Which, if anything, that resistance to this alleged message that being fat is okay and you can still be beautiful if you're fat, that resistance to this message, if anything, is just strengthening this message. So, you know, commentators of YouTube who somehow watch this someday, like, why don't you call it out for what it is? Like I'm doing. This is to make money. That period. That's all this is. This is like completely created. They talk to a casting agency. They pick these girls specifically. They're like, okay, we want a white one, we want a Mexican one, we want a couple black ones, but light-skinned black ones, not too dark, because like we want a wide appeal. You know what I mean? And you know, is a Filipino girl in there? Maybe I don't know. Filipino, Mexican? I don't really know. No, and let's have one in there that looks like maybe she might be lesbian, right? Let's get girls with a couple piercings, colored hair. They're hitting like trying to hit every demographic, right? Why don't, like, let's say that, okay? If you say that, if you and this is like the power of speaking in literal terms, right? Of being able to clearly identify reality, I guess, like, which to be fair, he kind of does seem to be doing that a little bit. He's just focusing on, I guess, the wrong reality, right? He's talking about, well, if a frat did this, they get beat up. She doesn't actually look like a model. This is dumb. Okay, I guess that's kind of true, but let's think bigger. Let's focus on the bigger picture. And I think when you do that, when you do focus on the bigger picture, it takes away the power of what this is. Because when you strip away the pretense, when you strip away like what BuzzFeed says they're actually saying, and calling it what it is, which is intended to be an engaging piece of content that stimulates discussion and shares and likes and comments for the purpose of increasing advertiser revenue, all of a sudden people who watch that, let's say some fat girls who watch this, they see it for what it is, and it takes away a little bit of the power, because you're aware that you're being manipulated for money, and nobody wants that, regardless of what the message is. Much harder to like get that through to people.
Healthy. Look at your cellulite there. That's not good for you. Don't take it from me. Go talk to a doctor and say, hey, am I beautiful? And he'd be like, well, you're a wonderful lady, but you're dying. Go ahead.
You know, when you look at that picture, me and the girl
She's so fat, she looks like she has midget arms.
show
They're
that,
so
you know, corsets
big.
are
They look
for everyone.
disproportionate. What have you done? And of course she's more attractive than when she's wearing sweatpants, but you want to be attractive, stop dying.
This is so unrealistic.
Yes, that's what I'm screaming. It's so unrealistic, it's mean. All right. Oh, can you imagine the graphic designers having to end in these pictures? Can I just airbrush a little bit? No, give it to them raw.
Yeah, me too. I
Okay.
also want to look at it because I want to like keep the feeling that it looks good up until
You
the
look
last
terrible.
possible
You were
moment.
competing with Gigi Hadid.
Is there actual
You
photos?
have changed races.
Hey,
You're
now,
transracial
it
because
looks
you're so
exactly like the picture. It looks
You look exactly like the picture. Are you insane?
I don't look at myself as sexy, and I feel
You're not,
sexy
unfortunately.
and that's a really
No.
awesome feeling.
Oh my
That's
god,
sexy to pigs like me.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, you look
Honestly,
better than
this
nothing, but you're not
feels
even
as
in
close to Gigi Hadid as I
in the same
possibly get. I feel
stratosphere
like I
as
got
the most
this
popular model in the world.
close.
Gigi's everywhere right
Okay.
now.
Dog, these are actors. These are actors. They are actors. This is scripted. They are either told explicitly, okay, I want you to we're going to give you the picture, take the picture, look at it, act surprised and excited when you see it, turn the picture around, show it to the camera, and then say, it looks exactly like me, or something like that, right? Or they're given very like general instructions as to like what to do. Be like, okay, now we're going to film the shot where you look at the picture and you react to it. Okay, so what we want you to do, we want you to act excited. We want you to be happy about it. You know, maybe show the picture to the camera if you want, but like that's like what we're going for here. And because these people are paid actors, they are going to do what they are asked to do because they want to be paid, right? This is not like, again, like I said, this is not some person they picked off the street. These are all, not only are these not people they picked off the street, but what they are saying is instructed to them to say by the fucking producers, right? And the producers are saying this because they have an idea in mind that they want to fucking create this piece of content so that advertisers will fucking pay them for it and watch it. Plus, look at those boobies. All right.
Yes, we look good.
You look good. Look at your bedroom.
Bedroom lies. Bedroom lies on hold.
I give up.
You see those?
I
This is
give
amazing.
up. Stop the video. Women, you have serious self-esteem issues. And you know what the issue is? Your self-esteem is too high. Your self-esteem is so high, you're dying. We like you. Believe me, we can take chubby. If you got some high heel shoes on, we'll work it out. As Billy Bragg says, if you hang around, I'm sure that we can find some common ground, sexuality. Yes, we can work it out. Unfortunately, medicine can't work it out. So go and yell at Days Another Woman all you want. Ultimately, we all want what's best for you, and that's to live. Obesity is death. Get some shame, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So like, how many times can I say it? And again, this reminds me, like, this is kind of what, like, you know, I like Alan Roberts. I think he's fighting the good fight. And I guess this guy also technically is fighting the good fight because I know I'm assuming their intentions, their heart's in the right place, right? You see some fucking ridiculous shit on the internet and you're like, this is ridiculous. This isn't healthy. This isn't good for anyone. This message should not be being spread. I'm going to make a video about it, picking it apart because it's an easy target. And I know that I'll get like people supporting me because there's got to be other people out there who also think this is fucking retarded because I think it's retarded and it is retarded. Right. But that's taking things for face value or at face value and not understanding them for really what they are, which is a marketing ploy designed to make money for like these corporations that are behind this. Right. So again, like I said, on the one hand, I don't know if they never think about that, if they just don't think about that, or maybe if they have thought about it. And similarly to how it's in BuzzFeed's best interest to hide that, it could be the case that it's also in this guy's best interest and Alan Roberts's best interest to hide that as well, or to not mention it, because if they do that, then they won't be able to pick them apart like the easy targets that they are, right? So I'm wondering, it's very clear why BuzzFeed is hiding it, right? Because nobody wants to know that they're being manipulated. But these guys, I wonder if they just don't realize that it's for money. I actually wonder. I think it's for money. I mean, obviously, of course, you want to create an interesting piece of content. Easy targets are theoretically better than hard targets because, you know, it's easy to make a video about Tess Holliday and say why she's bad. Fucking, are you kidding me? Like, it's not hard to like rationalize that. But if your goal is to really take some of the wind out of the sails of this movement, the way to do it, in my opinion, is not by presenting facts about why being fat is unhealthy, because that's too like logical. That's not they're not playing that game. But if you say, oh, you're just doing this, like this is cruel because this is just a marketing ploy by BuzzFeed to create an interesting piece of content so that they can sell more advertising space, and it's taking advantage of fat people that way just to make money. BuzzFeed's a greedy corporation. That's a message that does not actually attack fat people in and of themselves, and that's much harder to argue with, right? Because you're not attacking those actual people. You're attacking the message behind it, the impetus, you know? Okay, anyway, who told me to do this? Was it Sarah Ashkan? Thank you for Sarah Ashkan for telling me to do that. Fascinating video. If you guys have any other fascinating videos that you want me to watch and talk about, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.